Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford where the weather is mild. I've not even got my parker on. We'll get straight into it. A few sort of updates. We had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, of course, yesterday, so we'll have a little bit of a, what's it called, analysis of that, shall we say. We'll also look at who could be available for the weekend's game at West Ham, and a little bit of news on Mason Greenwood as well. First things first, Marcus Rashford back in training. He's been posting pictures on Twitter saying let's get it. He's looking quite hench, isn't he, Marcus Rashford? He's got big thighs. Yeah, he's in training. I know that sounded very camp, I don't care. So hopefully he'll be available soon. There was also a tweet that went out, I think, and a quote, I think it was from his agent, saying Marcus Rashford is still a few weeks off of a return and will hopefully get a few behind closed doors games. He obviously had an operation in the summer, an operation that he's needed for a little while. He's playing with injury a lot of the time. Manchester United. He's been doing that for about 2 seasons, I think, Marcus Rashford. But he's had an operation. He's looking, like I say, quite hench. So hopefully he can get the training and the behind closed doors games he needs, and we can get Marcus Rashford back into the starting 11, back into the squad. He might have to fight for his place because the competition is hotting up now at Manchester United, even for someone like Marcus Rashford, who got, 33 or something goal involvements, was it last season? 21 goals, I can't remember the exact figures, but it was quite a lot. So it's good to see that he's back in trade. It's good to see that there's competition for places as well, and he must love it coming back into the team. I know you always want to play for Manchester United, but he's a player that wants to win things and a big United fan as well. Coming back into a team that's got Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Rafael Varane in it. Happy days. Also on the United younger player front, if that's a correct segue, Mason Greenwood has been nominated for the Golden Boy Award. I think there's about 40 nominations, or nominees I should say. He's one of them. This is the prestigious award that it goes to Europe's brightest under-21 players. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's something that shows how well you've done, and if you win it, obviously you highly rated. Mason Greenwood is one of the best teenagers on the planet, best under-21 players in Europe, and he joins the likes of Saka and Pedri and Bellingham as well, who've been nominated for that. So we'll wait and see if he wins that award. I mean, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't, but it's nice that he's nominated, and I think he's in with a shout. I do. I think that he's had a very good sort of last 12 months. He had a little bit of a sticky spell, didn't he, beginning last season, but if you look at his recent record as well, the back end of the season and the beginning of this season, he's been on absolute fire. And regardless of whether he wins the Golden Boy Award or not, I'm confident that Mason Greenwood is going to win a lot of accolades and trophies at Manchester United. Who knows? Could one day be Manchester United's greatest ever goal scorer. Not to put too much pressure on him, but he's that good, isn't he? So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. As I said earlier, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave his press conference yesterday. A few quotes from that. He was giving an update on who's available, who's not, and who he may be able to pick for the trip to the London Stadium. He said Scott McTominay and Alex Telles have joined in training this morning, so that's yesterday morning. They look good. Of course, we need to have them go through a few sessions before we can consider if they're going to be available. Out of the two, I don't think Telles is going to be featuring. I'd be surprised if Luke Shaw got dropped. You could argue maybe he needs a rest. I'm not so sure. I think he's pretty essential, especially in the Premier League. Scott McTominay, if he's fit, there could be a chance of him getting into the first team. I know there's been this issue, hasn't there, with holding midfielders of can you play Fred there on his own? Can you play Matic? I thought Matic did a very good job against Newcastle, but how often can he play? Scott McTominay could be the answer. We'll wait and see. Also on the Jesse Lingard front, Jesse Lingard made a mistake, cost us a goal, cost us a point, didn't he? Over in Switzerland in the Champions League, his assist, if you call it that, for their goal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been speaking about that. He said, we really want to see the best of Jesse this season. We support him and we hope to keep him here with us. He's a Red through and through. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and of course the club is talking to him and his dad. We see him as a Manchester United player in the future. Jesse Lingard getting a lot of stick. He did a post, didn't he, on Twitter where he apologised, and I think the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba showed their support. Listen, I was fuming, as everyone was, when we conceded that last minute goal against a pretty average, I think, young boy side, but I'm not into hammering players on social media, going after him and being abusive and all that. And I know he got stick at the ground. And I'm not into these apologies that players do. It's just, I don't feel a need to do that. We see it all the time on social media posts, and this hurts and we're going to come back stronger and I want to apologise to the fans and all this. I don't think you need to do that. I'm just not into it, mate. Sorry, like after the Euros, like Marcus Rashford apologising for missing a penalty. You don't need to apologise for missing any penalties. You just fed half the country. You don't have to apologise for anything. Yeah, I'm not into it, and Jesse's obviously done it. I understand why he's done it, and people have backed him, and the club are backing him, and the manager's backing him, and saying potentially he could have a new deal as well. But yeah, apologies are not for me. Also, on the press conference front, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer speaking about Edinson Cavani, he said, I see Edinson having a massive impact. He's that type of personality and player. He can't wait to play, and he's working really hard to get back on the pitch. We feel that to get the best out of him this season, we need to get him 100% fit and not rush him. We've got a strong squad that will cope with having to let players heal and not risk any further injuries. Edinson hopefully will start training with us after the weekend, maybe Monday, so maybe involved on Wednesday. We've got the Carabao Cup game again against West Ham on Wednesday. It's a little bit frustrating about Edinson Cavani, only a little bit, because, I don't like to criticise him too much and it's not his fault. But he has missed quite a few games for Manchester United. I mean, he's been a fantastic player. I think he ended the number 7 curse. I think he was great last season, scored quite a few goals, and just his personality and the goals that he scored and the way he goes about his business, he's just a breath of fresh air. But there was at one stage last season where I think he missed 9 out of 10 games. He's also missed, the beginning of this season. Not his fault. He missed the start last season when we signed him. He couldn't even play against Newcastle because of quarantine and things like that. So it's just a little bit frustrating that we haven't seen as much of him as we'd like. And I know you look at it and you go, OK, we've got Ronaldo, we've got Mason banging him in. Does Cavani even get into this team? But I look at the game in particular midweek against Young Boys. That's the game that was crying out for someone like Edinson Cavani. Even when he went down to 10 men, I know he's 34, but I think he causes them all sorts of problems, and he's got a right engine on him. So yeah, the sooner we get him back in the team, the better. But as Ollie said, we don't want to rush him, especially at his age. And we've got the squad to not have to rush him. That makes a lot of sense. Solskjaer's also been talking about Diogo Dalot. Now, there were these stories coming out, I think it was Evening News yesterday, talking about how Dalot feels he can get into the Manchester United team, and then they said back into the Manchester United team, but I think back's a bit of a stretch because I don't think he was ever really a regular. Am I being a bit harsh? I mean, I do like Dalot, but I always felt like someone else has been in front of him. But yeah, he's talking about how he wants to get into the team and how he feels he can challenge for the team, which I want to see that from players. I don't want anyone coming in and going, or being in the squad going, well, I'm not going to get in this team. May as well just put my feet up. No point being it, really, but I'm getting a wage. No, you want to see him fighting for the place. You want to see him believing in themselves. So it's good to see, and I like Dalot. He offers something different than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, going forward. I just don't think he's at the levels we need defensively for Manchester United. And he was saying, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, speaking about Dalot, last year's loan was to give him experience and game time, and I think he did well when he came on the other night. He kept fit, which was a big thing, and he's got qualities that we look at trying to exploit more and more. Of course, he's got more experience. We're not here just to loan out players for years and years. Diogo had a very good summer with being called up to Euros. He did well for Portugal, under 21s, and had a season on loan that learned a lot from in Milan. Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty good spell, did he, at AC Milan on loan. He had an okay Euros. He came in, I think Cancelo couldn't play, I think it was COVID, so he was drafted in last minute. Did relatively okay. I don't think, some people sort of said he was fantastic in Euros. From what I saw, I thought he did okay. And it's not easy coming in as a last minute replacement for someone, but he acquitted himself relatively well. Yeah, I think he's got to really fight to get into this team, Diogo Dalot. As I said earlier, he's great going forward. Defensively, there's still a few question marks. It almost feels like he's a bit like a winger playing as a fullback. So we'll have to wait and see whether he does get a chance and whether he does overtake Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the Manchester United pecking order. He's doubtful, but not impossible. Also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just talking about life. Says life is normal. It's nice. We signed a good player. There's always lots of attention around Cristiano. He copes with it, and the players get on with their job. Yeah, speaking about obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, and now he's doing there, and life is normal. Just got one of the best players ever at Manchester United Football Club. Normal, nothing to shout about. We're going to wrap it up there. That's been a paper talk. Don't forget to go out and check out, or go out. You don't have to go out. You can do it at home on your laptop or on your phone. Check out paddockmerch.com. We've got loads of merchandise up on the channel, so make sure you're checking that out. Check out the other videos we've got as well. Got Housen's Brew later on. I think we've got Ryan Hopper coming in, who coaches the likes of Bruno Fernandes, exactly, yeah. Bruno Fernandes and Fred and Dalot as well. So it's quite topical. We'll have him in the studio. We'll be chatting to him later on, so make sure you're checking that out. We'll also be at the West Ham game We'll be at the West Ham game this weekend. That's how time works. It's linear. It goes forward, not backwards. Right. We'll be at the West Ham game this weekend, and we'll have the watch along. So make sure you are subscribing to the channel. So check out the merchandise and subscribe to the channel. Those are the two things you've got to do. This has been the Paper Talk. I've been Jay Motti. Thanks for watching.